Hello guys, another video from my car as every Saturday, and today let's talk about time. There's a famous philosophical quote attributed by Buddha. No one actually knows if Buddha actually said that, but the quote goes, "The trouble is you think you have time." And this may go very philosophical, but in this video I want to go practical in terms of development and career and business goals. So one example of that is the problem. Actually, I've talked about that in a previous video from my car, in one of the previous videos. The problem is you think you have time to refactor code later or clean up code later. So you go to feature 2, feature 3 and think, okay, the feature 1 is not ideal, but I will have time later to fix that. So in most cases, that never happens. If you don't clean up immediately, then you probably never do that, or do that very much later when it's causing some trouble or problems. Another example of that, I was tweeting recently that developers often think about creating their own products. Their dream, one of the dreams, is to get away from a job or client work or freelancing into products, which basically means passive income. Personally, I don't believe there's such a thing as passive income. You do need to still maintain, support, and upgrade stuff, but it's more passive, so you can work from Bali or from whatever is the new hotspot for freelance nomads, but you don't have to work 9 to 5 or 40 hours per week. So that's the dream. And some of the developers start creating some products, start coding, but then most of them kind of fail or kind of die down on the crossroad when they realize how much work it actually to take the product from just idea to coding and then to business. So you have to actually do sales, marketing, and then maintaining the product, and then upgrade, and then support, and then that on top of the regular job or client work. So most of the products don't survive until the phase where it generates enough money to think about that passive income. So why start at all? This is, of course, one of the angles. You may disagree with me, but another quote and another philosophical kind of method for priorities, what I want to talk, it comes from Warren Buffett, famous investor. I think it's called Top 25 or 25 Priorities or something like that. You can Google it out. But basically what it means is you need to write down 25 priorities for your life. In general, what do you want to achieve? The most crazy things, like, I don't know, live in a huge mansion, for example, afford a huge mansion. Career goals, like be a top executive at some company, like earn $1 million, whatever. So you write down all the 25 goals. Then the next step is you prioritize them in the order that you want to achieve them. So how hard you want to achieve them, the importance of those goals. And then the final step, you decide the top 5. So out of the 25, you decide the top 5. And then the thing is that you don't work on them in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but you cross out everything that is below 5 and you tend to forget them. Your goal is to forget them and never work on them again. Sounds weird, right? But then the goal is, and the thought is, that you focus on those 5 and you get really good at those 5, and then it gives you more chance to achieve those 5 ideas and those 5 goals. So out of those philosophical examples, what do I mean by that? If you have a lot of ideas, if you are a creative person and you want to achieve and this and that, you are a high achiever, super achiever, or whatever it's called, sometimes it is better to focus on smaller amount of tasks, ideas, and goals, and get really good at that, achieve maximum from those ideas and from those top 5, as Warren Buffett says, instead of passively working for 1 hour a day on priority number 6, which rarely materializes into something really meaningful. So I think we all better focus on really important goals in life, because the problem, you think you have time. But for example, if someone says to you, you have 1 year to live, wouldn't it change your priorities? So yeah, it ended up being quite a philosophical video after all. I hope you didn't fall asleep and you won't unsubscribe from my channel. But a lot of that philosophy is really applicable in our everyday development life, and especially sometimes you need to zoom out, think about your career goals, where do you work, what projects you work on, what is your next plan, and maybe you would rethink and focus only the stuff that you can prioritize and you can get really good and achieve huge things with that priorities. Hope it is helpful. If you agree or disagree or any opinion about that philosophy, shoot in the comments below as usual. See you guys in other videos.